A joyrider tanked up on booze killed his friend after speeding away from police in a stolen car. Joseph Lane, 27, would never forgive himself for the fatal crash, a court was told. The 27-year-old and his passenger Brandon Griffin were flung through the windscreen of the Vauxhall Vectra after Lane lost control and smashed into a telegraph pole, flipping onto its roof, reports the Liverpool Echo. Mr Griffin, 21, is believed to have been involved in the theft of the car from a driveway in Birkenhead the same morning and had offered Lane a chance to drive it only minutes before the devastating collision. Lane, of Tranmere, was jailed for 8.5 years at Liverpool Crown Court today after admitting causing Mr Griffin's death by dangerous driving. Judge Neil Flewitt, QC, sentencing Lane, described the offence as a sustained course of dangerous driving aggravated by Lane's drunken state and previous convictions. He said, Mr Griffin's family, as is their right, declined to make a victim personal statement, so I know very little about him or his background. Nevertheless, I have no doubt his death has left a void in the lives of all those who loved him. I accept as genuine the remorse expressed in the letter written by you, and I accept that you will for the rest of your life have to live with what you'd have done. Geoffrey Lowe, prosecuting, told the court Lane had been drinking beer and vodka all night into the morning of October 22, 2017, before trying to evade police in Rock Ferry. Mr. Lowe told the court Lane sped through a red traffic light at speeds around 60 miles per hour before entering a right-hand bend in the road. He said, the defendant, it seems, lost control and the car went into the opposing lane onto a grass verge. While traveling across that verge there was a telegraph pole, and the vehicle collided into it. There is a clear indentation on the passenger side. It knocked out a brick wall, and when it hit that wall it took off into the air, inverted, and landed on its roof. Witness Joady Thompson, a friend of Lane, told police that the defendant had been drinking from around 8:30 p.m. until between 5-6 a.m. on the morning of the crash. Police investigations revealed Mr. Griffin had been in the car a very short time after it was reported stolen and met with Lane around 8 a.m. Another witness, who was not named in court, said Mr. Griffin and Lane had turned up at his address at 8:25 a.m. offering him a chance to go for a ride, which the witness declined. Mr. Lowe said 2 minutes later an automatic number plate recognition (ANPR) camera picked up the vehicle, which by that time had been reported stolen, on Old Chester Road. At 8:41 a.m., 2 officers in a police patrol car spotted the Vectra and began to follow it, although the driver, PC Henderson, was only qualified to pursue a vehicle up to 20 miles per hour over the speed limit. The officers, who were traveling at 50 miles per hour, lost sight of the Vectra as it accelerated away onto Bebin Road and caught up just as it was spinning through the air. Lane was hurled over a 5-foot wall into a garden, while Mr. Griffin landed on the road. The court heard despite the desperate first aid efforts of the pursuing officers, an off-duty nurse and then medics, he died the following day due to blunt force trauma to the head. Lane was not seriously injured in the collision, suffering a broken rib, and refused to allow an alcohol sample to be taken. He was identified as the driver by one of the pursuing officers, and after his DNA was found in traces of saliva on the airbag of the wrecked Vectra. Lane initially tried to claim he was the passenger and pleaded not guilty, but changed his pleas before a trial could commence. Mr. Lowe said Lane's record showed 64 prior offences including aggravated vehicle taking without consent and interference with a motor vehicle. Ian Harris, defending, said his client had written a letter to the court detailing his remorse. He said, "It was not an easy letter for him to construct. It's right that I say in public that this letter says he will never forgive himself for what happened." Lane wiped his eyes in the dock as Mr. Harris continued. He acknowledges the impending sentence is the least he deserves as his friend has lost his life, and he acknowledges that he has done a lot of wrong in his life. Mr. Harris also referred to letters from Lane's partner Rachel Thomas and his sister, Sarah Pearson, who said, "It's so deeply sad that it has taken such a tragic fall for him to realize where his life has been leading him." Judge Flewitt banned Lane from driving for 12 years and 3 months. Brandon Griffin was hailed a hero in 2014 after helping to save an elderly woman from a burning flat in Bebin, Wirral, along with a friend. Read more top news stories from Mirror Online.